Hi, I'm Trish, and I'm here at the Stitchin Post, and I'm really excited today to introduce you to the 2022 Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show featured quilter.
Yay!
Jackie Erickson.
Yay!
It's a mouthful.
It is.
So today, Jackie, we're all very excited to hear a little bit more about you, to learn a few new things, and I know you've been in the Sisters community for a really long time, so we're going to ask you some kind of fun questions. And
Okay.
yeah,
Bring it
so we'll just ask you the obvious first. What does it mean to you to be the featured quilter this year?
Okay, I'm gonna get out there right now. I have a cheat sheet so that I can answer these questions. But to me, it's being honored for the quilting that I've done in the past and the quilting that I'll be doing in the future, that I'm a teacher, a writer, all the things that I do for quilting, working here at the Stitchin Post. I've worked here on and off for 40 years, been a long time, and this is the 47th year of Quilt Show. So I've been here for all of them, just not involved in all of them.
All right.
Okay.
Wonderful. Next, what was the first quilt that you ever made?
The first quilt that I ever made, I actually have with me. About 12 years ago, there was a forest fire up on Three Creeks Road called Rooster Rock. And we were moving up there, and at that time, between the 2 weeks that we were moving, there was fire, and we lost everything. I lost over 200 quilts, and for some reason, this one survived. It obviously didn't make it up there because it is a fugly quilt, but I have it here. I made it in 1978 when I was 17 years old, and it's all calico. It's made with purple. Obviously, I really liked purple back then. And my fabrics came from Sprouts Wrights in Bend. That was basically the only place other than the Stitchin Post, because it had opened in '75. But that's where we bought our fabric, was Sprouts Wrights at the time. It's hand quilted. Everything was cut by scissors and paper templates, because I didn't know what a rotary cutter was. And it's hand quilted, had no other idea how to quilt it. It has a lot of stains on it, but it went with me to college. The back is flannel, a flannel sheet, which is a big fat no-no. And the binding, I had no idea how to put that on, so I just folded over the top and sewed it down. So I do have my first quilt.
You did a nice job, though. It looks nice. It looks nice up close.
Well, I have it, and that's the important thing.
Yes.
So that was the first quilt that I made. And then the rest is history, basically.
All right. I have my cheat sheet, too. What motivates you to quilt?
Okay, she's supposed to ask me, when did I start sewing? I started sewing.
When did you start sewing?
I started sewing in grade school here in Sisters. As Tricia said, I grew up in Sisters, so at the time I was going to school, my class, the whole entire class was 15 people. And we went to high school in Redmond. We were bused there every day. So I spent a lot of time on the bus. But I learned to sew in 4-H. Lois Watson was my first instructor, and she lived just on the edge of town, and at that time didn't have indoor plumbing. So when we would go over there, we got to use the outhouse. It was a 2-seater, very cold in the winter, but so we were exposed, literally exposed, to all kinds of weather. It was very interesting. Everybody should grow up with an outhouse. Okay.
All right, and what motivates you to quilt?
Music. I absolutely love music. Music is my muse. If you ever come into the store, I work in the back, so I'm kind of off to myself. I work in a cave situation where I have 3 doors that go into it and no windows. So I'm kind of, if there was a tornado, everybody would come to me to be safe. And who knows what's going on outside? I have no idea. I never have any idea. But I have music, and I have it going all the time. And I listen to all genres. I love it all. Right now I'm kind of into country. I didn't mention earlier, being featured quilter, I feel like you kind of have to lead the quilt show and advertise for it. And one of the things that I did this year is I'm so full of myself. I ended up having candy bar wrappers made with my name on it at Featured Quilter, and then on the back it says quilting is my passion. So I still have a ton of these to give out, so if you're around for Quilt Show, I may still have some of these. It's a Hershey bar, so it's good chocolate. So this is what I had to have for myself. And that wasn't enough. I had to go a little bit further, and this year I got a bunch of my friends that were real good sports about this, and we were in the Sisters Rodeo Parade. and we were dancing quilts. And there's a video out there someplace, and we're actually pretty fabulous. It poured rain on us. We were sopping wet. Trisha's family was very involved. They let us borrow their truck. And oh yeah, everybody was really good sports.
It was a lot of fun. We'll do it again for sure.
Yeah, and so yes, music motivates me. Living in Central Oregon, you can't live here and not look at the mountains and nature and not get inspired. That's just very inspiring. Yes.
So if you had to give yourself a title,
it's a good question, but it's a hard one to answer because I do so much. I quilt, obviously. I teach. I design quilts. I write patterns for quilts. I've been published. You can kind of call me an actor. I did one series of Simply Quilts years ago. It was for the 25th anniversary. It was the Human Quilt, which you have not seen it.
I have not.
It's kind of it was a really big production. I've got to see what we're going to do for the 50th because that's coming up. And I will have something. Even though I won't be a featured quilter or anybody, I will do something for it. So my title is a Jackie of all trades. I do everything. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything. Oh, and now I'm a YouTube personality. We do YouTube videos here in the store. During the pandemic, we did them because nobody was coming to the store. And we wanted to stay connected with our customers, so we started doing how-to videos. And they just kept going. Trisha has done a few.
Yes, we do them all the time, and we try and release a new one every Sunday.
Oh, yes, and I believe I have done over 30 at this point. So some are really good and some are really bad.
We're getting better. We're getting better as we go.
Yeah, Trisha knows how to edit, which makes a big difference. We used to have to stop and redo it every time we messed up. But
yeah, we're having a lot of fun with that. So on your time off, what are some of your hobbies?
Okay, I do a lot of sewing, a lot of quilting, but I do enjoy listening to books on tape. I enjoy sports. I'm a sports nut. So watch sports, auto racing. I go to those with my son. We get along really well because he's into sports. Well, if I want to do anything with him, I have to understand sports. Right now, our newest thing is, I think it's called GP sailing, which is very, very cool. So we just watched one this past weekend. It was on one of the Great Lakes in Chicago. It's pretty good.
Great.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you just kind of a series of flash questions here. So this is just like a really quick, if I can turn my paper quick enough.
I don't have to look at my paper for these ones.
You don't have to look at your paper. All right. University of Oregon or Oregon State?
Anybody that knows me knows hands down Oregon State.
Yes. Wine or beer?
I'm not a real drinker, but if I was going to drink, it'd be white wine and light beer. Both.
All right. Both at the same time?
Never.
Never.
Never at the same time. That could be scary.
Cake or pie?
Okay, I'm a diabetic, so I'm not supposed to eat either one. But if I did, wink wink, it would be cake.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Pepsi or Coke?
Diet Coke, hands down.
Mm-hmm. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Harry Potter. Harry Potter brought my kids and I, and when we go on family trips, I brought headphones so I could listen to Harry Potter, but they all wanted to listen to my husband, my kids. So any trip we went on, Harry Potter went with us.
Aw, I love that.
Yeah, plus the movies, there's 8 of them. If I have a big quilt that I need to do, I can just pop those movies in and just play one after the other. I like white noise when I sew. If it's not music, a movie that I've seen a zillion times is great. So Harry Potter is the go-to movie.
Wonderful.
Movies.
Subaru or Honda?
Okay, I've owned them both, and I prefer my Honda. I know that people in Central Oregon are Subaru.
Oh, they love their Subarus.
Yes, I believe it's called Central Oregon Camouflage.
Yes.
Because everybody has a Subaru.
Yes.
Been there, done that, but I love my Hondas.
All right. And then last question. I can't wait for your answer for this. Tell us something about you that nobody knows.
Okay, I had to really think about this because I did another interview and they asked me, and all I could think of is things that I still don't want anybody to know about. There are some people that know them, but they would never tell. They're sworn to secrecy. Anyway, back in 1980, the boyfriend that I had at the time, his sister worked for Mike Nesmith, the ex-Monkey, and Mike was doing what they call pop clip videos. It was the prelude to MTV. MTV came the following year. and she invited us down to Carmel to be in one of his videos. So I danced in a pop clip video. It was all day process. We just sat there, ate horrible food all day long just to dance for about a half hour. And our little dance was, we were in a, I've tried to find the clip, but I can't find it anywhere. It's gotta be out there someplace. So if anybody out there can find it, I would love to see it. I don't know what it's called, but we're in a living room and we come crashing through. I think they're having a dream, the couple in there. And the back wall breaks away and all these people come out dressed like housewives and plumbers and whatever. And we're all in fog going doo-doo, 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 dancing our way through the living room. Pretty bad, but you can say, because it was prelude to MTV, so I am an MTV pioneer.
And you were dressed as?
As a housewife.
As a housewife.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. No.
But you were on MTV basically. That's
well,
cool.
At some point they got there. But yes, pop clips. So you can Google it. You won't see a whole lot about it, but they were pretty stupid.
All right. All right. That's great.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And for those who want to follow along in your quilting journey, how can they find you?
They can find me, and I would love it if people would actually go look at my Instagram, and it's Jackie549, Jackie 549. Follow me, see if you like what I got. It's a lot of my personal life, because quilting is this is me. I mean, everything about this encompasses my life. Then I also have a Facebook page, and that's Jackie Pond Erickson. Jackie Pond, P-O-N-D, that's my maiden name, Erickson. And you can follow me, and I'd friend you if you look okay. I'll friend you. But I post a lot of public on my Facebook. So even if the friending thing didn't work out, you can see if anything I post that's quilting, I make public. I didn't used to, but I keep having people call me or text me and say, "Can you make that public? I want to share it with my friends." So I try to do that.
Wonderful.
So, yes. So come see me. You can come see me at the store too. I'm here Monday through Friday, but you have to find me because I'm in that cave.
Yeah.
But listen for the music.
Follow the music.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can't wait to see all of the quilts that you have up around at the show. And
yes. So I will be over on Hood Street. This year, Hood Street's going to be closed, not Cascade. And Cascade is the main street, goes through town. Hood Street is behind the Stitchin Post, and that whole entire street will be closed. I will be in front of the Ponderosa properties with my quilts and water and candy and whatever else.
Yes. Stop by for a sweet treat.
Yes, do. Stop by and see me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Jackie.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
We need to do this again.
Yes. And thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.